What's up, guys? Welcome to the Gifted Radical Wrestling. I'm your host, the Gifted One, and I'm back today with another vid recapping on what happened on TNT Dynamite today. So let's jump right into it. First off, we have the Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, going up against the enigmatic, relentless Darby Allin. Now, if you guys are not aware, this is actually for a semi-final spot to earn the TNT Championship. So we have 4 contestants left. Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes are the first up tonight. This is how they're kicking off Dynamite, which I feel as though is definitely a great way for them to kick off the show. So let's jump right into it. Darby Allin comes down, typical fashion. He hasn't been using his skateboard lately. He really doesn't have that much of an area to slide down with his skateboard. I feel as though that's a unique entrance for him. But yeah, he gets ready to come down to the ring, getting ready to face Cody. Cody comes out with his beautiful wife, Brandy, and they're getting ready to rock out, guys. I mean, a lot of things are at stake right now. This championship is a heavy championship. Besides the World Heavyweight Championship for AEW, this TNT Championship is a new championship. So Cody's number 1, and Darby is number 3 as far as the stats are concerned. So they jump right into it, guys. It's a real physical match. They lock up. They're getting physical with each other. Darby's hitting on Cody, striking him up. Cody's striking Darby up. It's kind of like a back and forth match. They end up going outside, and Cody's trying to punish him outside, and ends up picking Darby up to try to throw him into the side barricade, but he ends up actually throwing Darby into his own wife. That's right, guys. Cody made a mistake today and threw Darby Allin into his wife, kind of hurting Brandy a little bit. So they come out, pick her up, take her to the back to make sure that she's okay, making sure that she doesn't have any severe injuries or anything like that. And the match continues, guys. Darby ends up hitting Cody with Cody's own patented maneuver, the Crossroads, but Cody ends up kicking out. They're hitting each other with each other's finishers. They're going back and forth, guys. I mean, it was a pretty good match. Darby ends up rolling Cody up to try to get a pinfall victory. Cody kicks out. After Cody performed a coffin drop onto Darby Allin, yeah, Cody tried to use Darby Allin's own signature maneuver to try to finish him off, but he was not able to. He was definitely unsuccessful in that attempt. Brandy actually comes back out, and she's kind of limping to the ring, holding her stomach. I'm not sure if she has any type of stomach cramps or anything like that. She probably has to use the bathroom or whatever. But she was faking like her ribs were hurting and whatnot. And she actually comes down with a bottle of water, guys. Yes, a bottle of water. I don't know what she was planning to do with this bottle of water, but she ends up giving Cody the bottle of water. Now, Cody and Darby was fighting for a little while. They was probably like 15 minutes into the match. And Cody actually pauses to take a drink of water. So now, Darby wished he had some water. You don't see anybody bringing Darby any water. So, you know, Cody's kind of privileged. I'm not mad at him, though. At the end of everything, Darby ends up putting Cody in the Last Supper. It's a figure 4 maneuver, but Darby has his own little finishing twist on it or whatever. And Cody does not tap out. He's kind of unsuccessful with this maneuver on Cody because Cody actually ends up breaking the hold and getting out. As I said, Cody tried to hit Darby with a coffin drop, was unsuccessful. Then Darby ended up hitting Cody with his own finishing maneuver, which is the coffin drop, and Cody kind of reversed it as Darby landed on top of him. So he kind of got like a side pin on him and actually ended up picking up the victory, guys. So he used Darby's own finishing maneuver against him, picked up the victory, and he moves on to the finals. So now, this is what the bracket is looking like. And as I said, guys, I stated this last week that I strongly believe that Cody was going to be in the finals. And so now we got to see who else moves on to the finals. Either would it be the natural Dusty Rhodes, or will it be the Murder Hawk Lance Archer? But moving right along, we take a brief intermission, and MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, comes out. He stated last week that he had an elbow injury, had a fake doctor's note and everything like that signed in the crayon, stating that when he came back, he was going to have one of the world's strongest elbows, or whatever the case is. But then this week he comes out and he has a neck brace. So I'm guessing he had a neck cramp and everything like that. But he's addressing the fans. He's addressing the AEW world. And he's letting them know that he'll be coming back sooner than everybody thinks because he knows everybody misses him. And I believe that MJF is one of the top heels right now, besides Le Champion, Chris Jericho. He's a very good heel, guys. So I can't wait to see what he has in store when he comes back. Moving along, Wardlow, as everybody knows, is MJF's muscle. He's his war dog. And Wardlow comes out and he has a match with some guy named Musa. The guy Musa is really not a match for this guy Wardlow. I mean, Musa tries to hit him with some type of offensive moves, but he's definitely unsuccessful. The guy Wardlow is definitely strong. He's a beast. He's a savage. He likes to inflict pain on people. And then he ends up hitting him with, it looks like an F5, but he does it differently than how Brock Lesnar does it. He actually grabs the guys and spins them off of his head, and they just land however they land. And he actually picks up the victory. So he kind of squashes the guy Musa, and he calls it a night. So then we have another match between the Best Friends and Jimmy Havoc with Mr. Superbad himself, Kip Sabian. So now last week, Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian tried to jump Mr. Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy after the match that Jimmy Havoc had with Orange Cassidy, but they were unsuccessful because the Best Friends actually came in and intervened. So this match is a match, and it's a no disqualification match. I mean, these guys bring out the hardware. They're slamming each other on chairs, throwing each other through ladders. I mean, all they needed really was the kitchen sink and maybe a couple brooms in a dustpan, and they would have been doing janitorial work. That's how much stuff they were throwing around. That's how much things they were hitting each other with. And the guy from the Best Friends, Chucky T, man, I got to give him credit because he really kicked up when his team needed it. He started power driving Kip Sabian on the chairs. He was taking care of Jimmy Havoc. But the beautiful Penelope Ford got involved in the match, actually breaking up the count when Chucky T was actually about to pin Kip Sabian. And she broke up the 3 count. But then your boy, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy, got involved, ended up hitting Jimmy Havoc with a chair, throwing it at him. And they go outside because Penelope is trying to hit him, and he kind of throws her into Kip Sabian. So now they fall into the side barricade area, and they actually land in an awkward position. I mean, I'm not mad at Kip Sabian for having Penelope Ford in that position. Hey, you be the judge of that. Leave your comment below. So then that actually opens up the opportunity for Chucky T to grab Jimmy Havoc and actually finish Jimmy Havoc off with this powerbomb pile driver that he does, and he did it on top of a pile of chairs, guys. So he actually ends up picking up the victory with that maneuver, beating Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian. So I think that's just a little more fire for this feud. I believe it's gonna get better, but we'll see how it goes. So then we're moving on, and if you guys recall correctly, I stated this last week as well. Mr. Brody Lee was eyeing Marco Studd from the Jurassic Express down while he was in the audience, and they set up a match, guys. Now this is more like a David and Goliath type of match. The guy Marco Studd, he looks like he's 12 years old, to be honest with you, and hey, he just got squashed, man. Brody Lee is definitely stronger than him, was throwing him around. I mean, don't get me wrong, Marco Studd tried to put up some offensive maneuvers, jumping through the rope to try to hit him with a spinning DDT, but Brody Lee just ended up catching him, super kicking him outside, went back into the ring and actually waited for the 10 count, and Marco Studd actually made it back into the ring by the count of 9. But me being Marco Studd, if I was in that position, I would have stood outside because I wouldn't want no more smoke with this guy. He was manhandling me. So then he comes back into the ring and ends up getting a vicious power bomb, a vicious sit-down power bomb, guys, where his head literally bounced off the mat. Call it a night for Marco Studd. Winner of the night, Mr. Brody Lee. I actually like what Brody Lee's doing with his character here on AEW, so I'm giving him a thumbs up. You guys leave your comments below and let me know what you think of his character going on in AEW as well, man. So then now we have the other semi-final match which is the main event, and it is the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, against the natural Dusty Rhodes. And this is going to be a physical match, guys. This is definitely a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross would say. And they tie it up, guys. These are two big bulls. Everybody knows that Dustin is tall. He's a physical type of wrestler. But this guy, Lance Archer, is also big. He's strong. They're about the same height. But the only thing, a little bit more muscular than Dusty. Of course, he's younger than Dusty as well. But these guys are having a good match. Dusty hits him with some offensive maneuvers. Has him right there in the corner, kicking him in, in the thigh area, close to the family jewels. And they get real physical, guys. I mean, Lance Archer picks him up, choke slams him. They end up going outside where Lance Archer tries to hit him with a chair, but he misses. Then Dustin picks up the chair and tries to hit Lance Archer with it, but Lance Archer ends up kicking him in the face with the chair, guys. This is where things turn for Dustin. This is where the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, ends up turning up the heat and inflicting severe punishment on Dustin. Busts him open with that kick with the chair to the face, and things go downhill pretty fast for Dustin after this. I mean, Lance Archer starts to play with him. He starts to beat on him. He starts to grind him out, inflicting more damage, more punishment. I mean, Dustin tries to rally throughout the match, but Lance Archer is just playing with him. They go outside. He slams him around the bell area, slams his head on the table, and it looks like Dustin is out for the count. But, Dustin, he's a fighter, man. Lance Archer ends up taking the top turnbuckle padding off, slamming his face onto that as well, to the exposed steel, further injuring Dustin in the face and everything like that, where he was already busted open. He kind of smashes his head on that like 3 times. And he's just playing with him there, guys. Dustin's bleeding. He's rubbing his face onto the mat while he's bleeding, and he's just inflicting more pain on him, just disrespecting Dustin all the way around. Dustin is busted up, laid out. I mean, I don't think he has anything left in the tank after that, guys. But he still tries to continue. He's looking at his blood on the mat, and I mean, it's looking bad. The referee actually comes in and asks him, "Are you okay? Would you like to continue?" And Dustin is like, yeah, he's a warrior. I mean, I got to take my hat off to him because he really did not quit. So then Cody comes down and he's checking on his big brother. He's like, listen, I'm going to throw in the towel. You've taken enough abuse. You're bleeding. I feel like you're incapacitated right now. And Dustin is like, no, you're not going to stop the match. If it was you, I wouldn't throw in the towel. He's a prideful guy. He doesn't want to take an L that way. And Lance Archer just actually pulls him back into the ring, throws the towel at Cody, just disrespecting Cody all the way around. Grabs Dustin in like this claw lock type, starts slamming his head against the mat multiple times, and then ultimately pins him for the victory. So he moves on to the finals, and there you see Dust trainers coming in there to make sure that Dustin is okay. Dustin kind of tried to reach for Lance Archer a little bit because he was out of it. He was dazed. I believe he was kind of confused. He didn't know that the match was over, and the match was already over. Lance Archer then kneels down and just starts laughing at him, talking hella crap to Cody, telling him, you see what I did to your brother? You're going to see what I'm going to do to you. And now that everybody knows, for the final, we have Cody and the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, for the TNT Championship, guys. I mean, this is going to be crazy. I actually stated this last week when I made my last video on AEW. I said that these two men were going to be in the finals. I said that. Leave your comments below, guys, and let me know who you think is going to be victorious in this match. There you see Lance Archer right there. He's just gloating, laughing it up. I mean, this guy seems to be pretty unstoppable. I hope Cody is able to do what he can do in order to pick up the victory, because I would like to see Cody have a championship since he cannot contest for the heavyweight championship. I mean, on paper, it makes sense that Cody would be the TNT champion. He is ranked #1. Lance Archer's pretty fairly new, but he's undefeated in AEW. So let's see if Cody will be the first one to give him the L. Drop your comments below and let me know how you feel about that, guys. Let me know what you think. So that's the recap, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the recap. If you like what you're seeing on the channel, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell. so you guys can be alerted whenever I drop new content. And to all my subscribers who have been subscribing to the channel, I believe it's 14 of you guys now. I really appreciate it. Thank you for becoming one of the gifted family members now. And it's your boy, the Gifted One. Till next time, see you guys.